The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outkast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. What's going on, everybody? It's time for the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, hanging out with you here on this Thursday afternoon. My apologies, yesterday no show, but those who watch the show all the time, you know, most Wednesdays, or I guess half the Wednesdays of the baseball season, I will be out at the ballpark here in El Paso, Texas, doing my thing. We got Man Maggot. It might be Man Maggot, now that I'm looking at it, saying hello to you as well. Hope that you're having yourself a fantastic morning so far. Hoping that everyone is doing good so far this morning. Okay, yesterday, as you all know, we talk about sports. We talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. Y'all give me topics. I will keep going on with the topic as best as I possibly can. But yesterday, I was watching some NBA playoff basketball, and my San Antonio Spurs yesterday were absolutely fantastic. The Spurs were on fire. It was a good time. I was so excited about it. They go into, or, they stay home in San Antonio, and they beat the absolute brakes off the Minnesota Timberwolves. That makes me happy because the way that they lost the first game was not a big fan of the little mental lapses and things like that the San Antonio Spurs had going on in that first game. You had a timeout, should have called timeout, had 7 seconds, could have drawn up a play. Instead, they kind of rush. And that's been my fear with the San Antonio Spurs this season. As a Spurs fan, I love what they're giving me. I love the fact that we're in the playoffs for the first time after 7 years. I'm not one of these people that thinks they're going to win the championship, but I would not be surprised if they win the championship. I also wouldn't be surprised if they get bounced in this round. Minnesota's a halfway decent team. I would say watching Anthony Edwards, though, those knees, dude. Doris Burke was talking about it yesterday on the broadcast. It looks like my dude is aging like a banana. Like, you're in your 20s. You shouldn't have that, that much ice packs on your knees in a game that you didn't play the full game, right? Like, both teams emptied their bench with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter because of how wide the spread was there. There's no need to keep those guys in the game. You're down by 40, what was it at the time, 45 points? I was really hoping the Spurs would try to find a way to beat them by 50. I understand not pouring it on, not, jumping into it, not doing any of that nonsense. I understand it. But as a fan, I didn't like the way you lost 104-102 in game one. So why not come out here and just pour it on? Step on their throat and watch their soul leave their body. Like Shang Tsung. You can't spell Shang Tsung without SAS, San Antonio Spurs. That was so stupid. I am excited to watch the Mortal Kombat movie, though. I will say that. I can't wait to watch the Mortal Kombat movie. This past weekend, I took my kids to go watch the Mario movie, the new Mario movie, whatever, Mario Galaxy. I want to watch the new Michael Jackson movie. Don't judge me. Michael Jackson was an artist. Love me some Michael Jackson. I'm going to watch that movie. And then I want to go see Mortal Kombat, which is insane to me. Insane to me that me, a guy who doesn't go to movies, is planning weekends full of movies. It's great. Oh, Ashley hitting me in my favorite spot right here saying, Tip, morning, my dude. I don't know if you hit on this week yet, but do you think the New Day is going over to AEW? For those who are not big wrestling fans, the New Day, one of the most decorated tag teams in WWE history, mutually agreed, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, Austin Creed and Kofi Kingston, mutually agreed to separate from the WWE, and there are now rumors of the New Day going to AEW. I would love to see it. I think the tag division in AEW is awesome. You got the Young Bucks. Edge and Christian renewed their tag team stuff. I love the character work that they're doing over there. It's a lot of fun. So if I'm them, why not? Right? Like AEW is a great wrestling place. I'm a huge AEW guy. They come to El Paso a lot. I try to go to those games or those events as much as possible. The Crooked Commission saying, yo, Money Mike, what's good? Once you're done with basketball, let's talk about them red hot Cubs. Back-to-back walk-off wins, baby. We'll get to that in a minute. You got to keep me on track here. Because if we're going to talk baseball, I'm going to start with my El Paso Chihuahuas, who have won 2 in a row. A walk-off win on Tuesday. A 11-10 win yesterday. We had some new guys come into town, right? Like part of my staff, part of the stuff that we do in the production side. A couple of new guys come into town. And I told them, wherever you're coming from, put whatever you think offense is out the window because the ball flies out of Southwest University Park. It is a AAA baseball stadium. You talk about the friendly confines in Chicago at Wrigley Field, the friendlier confines of Southwest University Park. I'm trying to think if we've had a game that hasn't been super high scoring. So I've got to look that up right now. We're 14 home games in. Our team is really good at batting. Really good at bat. And AAA baseball, if you guys don't know, AAA baseball, you got to be really damn good to be playing AAA baseball. I'm trying to look here. All the low-scoring games seem to be on the road. 8-4, I don't know if I would call that a low-scoring game, but we'll see. 13-5, 6-1, maybe. 10-8, 4-0, 19-12. They go on the road to Round Rock, come back to El Paso, 13-6, 13-11, 8-5, 7-6, 6-7. We had a funny 6-7 cam yesterday at the ballpark. It was a baseball and education day. So we had well over 3,000 students at Southwest University Park for our day game with an 11:05 first pitch. The 6-7 cam got him going. 8-2, 9-5. come back this week, and it's 10-9 with the walk-off win that we had, and then we win 11-10. To put this in perspective, over the last, 5-6 games, we'll call it 6 games, the Chihuahuas have scored 12, 8, 7, 3, 10, and 11, respectively. Man. The Cricket Commission saying that's fair, but PCA had a 2-run blast in the 9th to send it into extras. Have Jay Hood show it to you. We got to have Jay Hood show it to you. Hey, you know what? Yeah, I've got to get more Chicago in me. Those that don't know, I was born in Chicago, got adopted, came here, got some love for my Chi-Town people. I've only ever been like a handful of times. I got to find a way to go back. A reason to go back. San Antonio, maybe the Cowboys. Well, we'll plan a trip, Commish, because I know you're in Arizona. We'll plan a trip. We'll do something. We'll get it going. I am ready for it. But yeah, again, it's so early in the baseball season, other than the team that I'm working for me to genuinely get too hype right now. But I do love a 2-run blast. Like I absolutely love those types of games, right? Because now you know for the remainder of the season that the Cubs are going to be in it no matter what, right? You can look at some of those games and think to yourself, okay, maybe they get blown out, maybe they do that, and it's mirroring what my El Paso Chihuahuas are doing, right? The Chihuahuas were down 6-0 in the second inning yesterday and come back to win 11-10, right? Like that's awesome. That is awesome. That's what I love about sports. That's what I love about baseball. As soon as the team shows you they can come back, you are hooked all season long. If you've got one of those teams that they hold on to leads and stuff, that's fine. That's cool, whatever. But you really, as a fan, you really want to see your team be able to come back from behind. Phrasing? I don't think that's a phrasing. Is it that can't be phrasing? I'm going to go look at baseball. I am jumping on this, Commish, because so few people ever want to talk baseball with me. So I am here for it. I want to go to the standings first. Would you look at that? We're not even going to start with the AL East, even though it's the first thing that pops up on ESPN.com. I wonder why. I wonder why that is. Let's go to the National League. Let's go to the National League West. We're going to start west to east. That's what we're going to do. Exactly. The committee hitting it right on the head. You love seeing your team have a little bit of that Rocky in them, right? That little come from behind. Although I hate that analogy because Rocky's from Philadelphia. They build statues to fake champions. Fake champion is not real. We love Rocky, but he's not real. I always feel weird about, I got to see. We do have some people tuned in on the Under the Hood channel. So I always feel weird doing like those voices and stuff for a brand new audience. In the West, you have the Dodgers and Padres leading the way right now. The Dodgers 23-14, the Padres 22-14. Our dude Tommy Carranza tuning in saying, "What's up, Tip? What's up, Tommy? Hope that you're having a great morning so far. Go Spurs, go!" Beating the brakes off of your, for now, Minnesota Timberwolves. It was a phenomenal, dude. I had to go out back under my gazebo, light up a cigarette, slow drag that thing, post-coital after watching that ass whooping. The commission, I don't know, Rocky from that movie Mask was real. Just hitting us with it. Giving a little bit of love to Tommy as well. I was post-coital after watching the San Antonio Spurs just take belt to ass. I wanted them to win by 50. I needed them to win by 50. They didn't. They only won by 38. But, I mean, God, and the thing is it wasn't even that close of a 38. You can say a team won by 38 and be like, it wasn't that close. The Minnesota Timberwolves had 35 points in the first half. 35 points in the first half. Wemby didn't even have a block party. That's the crazy part about it. If you weren't paying attention, the last 3 games for Victor Wembanyama, it was 11 blocks, 7 blocks, 7 blocks. Dude is averaging just blocking your soul out of your body. Again, human cheat code. I'm happy that he's on the San Antonio Spurs. I would be mad as hell if Victor Wembanyama was on somebody else's team doing that shit to me. Stephon Castle yesterday, and this is the thing, man, you got me back on basketball. Tommy shows up and I get back on basketball. I'll get back to baseball soon. You see how the lazy river, for those of you that are new to the stuff that we're doing right now, the tipping point is my show in name, your show in heart. You bring up the topics, I talk about them. It's a lazy river. It meanders however it meanders. Sometimes we got rapids and we just bounce all over the place. That's more than likely going to be the Friday show, TIP VIP Friday. I want to see if I can get Hoodie on. It's so hard to get Hoodie on the show because the morning show he had, J Hood and Cap, or Cap and J Hood, ends at like the same time this show starts. And being someone who's done production at that high level, you normally spend about an hour to an hour and a half, recapping all the stuff you did, planning for future stuff, doing things like that. Maybe we can get him on. We'll see. I know Augustine will be here. Maybe Strilla will be here. I'll put it out there. Tommy, you can be on here. Kamish, you can be on here. Ashley, you can get on here. It's a TIP VIP Friday, baby. That was always my way of doing things because at iHeart, we didn't have a phone. I had to borrow a phone. I had to buy a splitter. Jesus Christ, this is like so inside. I had to buy a splitter because the studio next to me was KTSM 690, one of the other old radio stations here in El Paso, but it's like a hardcore conservative news channel. I would have to split their phone signal and send it over to my room. And then I didn't even have like one of those buttons to take the calls. I had to take the actual call, put them on hold, push another button over here to get it loaded, and then bring them on. We did my first 5 shows with the phone without a 7-second dump delay, which I'm sure was against the law, but I think the statute of limitations has passed because I've been gone from iHeart for 6 years now. But we had to do that without a 7-second delay. Finally got the delay put in. I had to install it myself. It was me, Mike Rivera, and Joey Vela installing these things ourselves. We built our own studio at iHeart to be able to do this show. So the TIP VIP Friday thing was always a way of getting people involved in the show because the phone line was so hard to handle. The commission saying, I'm starting to believe he's an alien, might be an illegal at that. Someone should look into that. I'm going to launch an investigation into Victor Wembanyama. They love Wemby. They all love Wemby. Not me. I don't like him. He's a big, freaky looking guy. I don't like big men unless they're big, beefy men. The bigger and beefier they are, then that's for me. Tommy's saying, I'm on the road during this show, brother. It just feels like you don't want to be a part of what we do. I know the guilt trip ain't going to work on you. We both came from the hood. Guilt trips don't work unless it comes from mom. That's the only way a guilt trip would ever work. Going back to baseball, because I have this baseball page brought up right here in front of me. The Dodgers leading the way in the West. The commissions, Chicago Cubs, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. The Atlanta Braves right now in the NL East, leading the way. 26-12. The Phillies, Nationals, Marlins, Mets, all right behind them. The Mets, not a good team. Not a good team at all. The Cubs and Cardinals fighting for first place over here. The Cubs with a 4-game lead early on here in the season. 25-12, back-to-back walk-off wins, winning 8 in a row. Man, I'm glad to see they're hot at the right time. the Chicago Cubs. I was one of these people, and maybe this is going to make people in Chicago mad at me. I probably shouldn't admit this on this show now that we've got the under the hood stuff working with us. But whenever the Cubs were in the World Series, what was it, 2016, I want to say? Was it 2015, 2016, whatever year it was? I was cheering so hard for the Cleveland, now Guardians, formerly Indians. It was awesome. That series was so good. So good. It was one of those, like, just classic types of series. But I wanted Cleveland to win because I love historic losing, right? 108 years between championships. Probably should have just done the math right there. 1908 to 2016. 108 years between championships. I love that type of stuff. Maybe it's going to happen to me and the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe I am the last person in my direct family to have witnessed the Dallas Cowboys win a championship. Hey, I'm good with it. I didn't tell my kids to be Cowboys fans. They decided they just wanted to be Cowboys fans. I don't blame them if they jump ship. They're young enough to make up their minds and do whatever it is that they want to do and get ahead of the curve before time. Would it hurt? Of course. But I don't blame them if they walk away. 108 years. I wanted more. And it's not me being a jerk. I'm the same way with, like, my alma mater from high school. We had lost 79 straight games going into COVID. The record for most losses in the state of Texas for Texas high school football was 92. We just had to lose 2 more seasons, and we would have had the record. If you're going to be bad, be historically bad. How many times have y'all heard me say that? And they lost their first 4 games during that COVID-shortened season, so we have an 82-game losing streak, and I'm feeling good about myself. And then they have another game on the schedule, and they win via forfeit. That forfeit win was the only win they had in the COVID season and in the season following COVID, and then they went 10 weeks in the following season after that, which means we would have had a stranglehold on that losing streak record, but instead we didn't get it. Still heartbroken by that. If you're going to be bad, be historically bad. Be so bad they don't ever forget you. Now people are going to forget about that 108-year streak in between championships. You just started a new one. Now we're only 10 years deep. No, like, zero sympathy from people now. That's what made the Cubs so much fun, was that they were the lovable loser, and they finally win, and you're like, oh, this isn't good. This isn't what we want. It's like going back to wrestling. Ashley brought up wrestling earlier, right? You get these guys that you want to win a championship, and you're like, hell yeah, let's get this guy a championship. Jey Uso, the Yeet guy, right? Like that guy. Get him a championship. The fans were on it. Put a belt on him. You put a belt on him, and then everyone's like, man, this isn't great. He's blown up by the time he goes out to the ring. Not the type of guy that we want holding the championship belt. All y'all hating ass haters out there hating on Jey Uso, you're the ones who wanted to put the belt on him. That's how it feels. That's why I wanted the Cubs to continue that long losing streak. Is it the Guardians now? Are they the team that has the longest streak in between championships? I have to see. Let's look that up. That was a lot. Oh, no, you said it right now. You just talked about the 108-year losing streak. I brought it up because I wanted them to keep it going. That's the only thing I care about. And yes, it is the Cleveland Guardians right now. They have not won a title since 1948. This is now, what, 78 seasons? Yeah, 78 years for the Cleveland Guardians, which means now, if I'm a Guardians fan, I don't want a championship. I want to get that mantle. I want to take that mantle from the Cubs. You give it up, I'm going to come and take it. So that means the Cleveland Guardians should not want a championship until the year 2057. Let's go the full 109. 2057 should be the year the Cleveland Guardians win a championship. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm hoping for. Let's get 109 years of ineptitude. Sprinkle in a couple of World Series runs where you lose in the World Series. I'm a happy guy. That's what I want for the Cleveland Guardians. The Milwaukee Brewers, 56 seasons, have never won. The Padres have never won. The Seattle Mariners have never won and are the only team without a World Series appearance. That's 49 seasons, 50 years. And I want that to last as long as it can, too. That's wild that the Seattle Mariners are 8 years older than me and have never been to a World Series. And you look at some of those teams, they had some really good teams in the 90s and 2000s. I know last year they got close. Toronto that beat them last year, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I love it. I love long losing streaks. Long droughts. Maybe that's what I'm getting as a Cowboys fan, right? 30 years between championships. Maybe I'm the reason why. I just had an epiphany. I'm like Taylor Swift. Hello, I'm the problem. It's me. Maybe if I cheer for another team, maybe I start cheering for Philadelphia. They'll go on a losing streak. I'll be like a sleeper agent against the Philadelphia Eagles. I kind of like the way that sounds. Although I don't think I could ever say the words, I like Philadelphia, without almost throwing up. Ugh. Man, you know you can taste it in your mouth whenever you almost throw up? That's what I said. That's what happened to me right now whenever I said those words together. It was gross. It was grotesque. I can't believe it. I can't believe those words even made it out of my mouth. Going to the American League, the Athletic, wow, the AL West is a hot garbage-ass division. Oh, my God. I haven't been paying attention to Major League Baseball as much as I should. I did not realize that the American League West, the best team in the American League West right now, are the Athletics, the homeless Athletics. They don't even have a home team or a home name, a home city, anything of that nature. They are just simply the Athletics. 18-18 leading the division. The Mariners second in the division, 18-20, while the Texas Rangers sit behind them at 17-19. Maybe we go to a Texas Rangers game this year. We'll see how that goes. In the AL Central, the Cleveland Guardians are 19-19. Is there something about the American League? What the hell's going on here? Leading the division at 19-19, Detroit is 18-20. The White Sox 17-20. The Royals 17-20. And the Minnesota Twins 16-21. There are 2.5 games separating the teams in that shitty-ass division. I don't like Strilla. Are you doing okay, my guy? Because there's no way you can be happy rooting for those teams. Hoodie, I know you're a White Sox fan. That's got to be tough. Commission, if you think about it, Mike, the Athletics isn't really much of a baseball team name either. It really isn't. Like, it's going back to what? The 1800s, right? Is that whenever they were established? Like 1890, something like that? Whenever it was like, oh, look at you. You're 5'5", 297 pounds. You run a 7-second 40-yard dash. You can mash the ball at a whopping, velocity of 2.5 miles an hour off your bat. Little dribbler. You run bow-legged. You're missing 3 fingers. And you're starting pitcher Mordecai 3-Finger Brown. I just love mentioning him anytime I can. You smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. You drink a ton of whiskey. But you know what? You look athletic. You're athletic for the 1890s. So we're going to have you join our team, the Philadelphia Athletics. I think baseball now has like the least athletic people in it, right? Although you look at someone like Giancarlo Stanton, dude's just an Adonis. Out here looking beautiful and handsome, super muscular, shiny, vascular head. Like he's doing all that stuff. Man. Yeah. The Philadelphia Athletics going back to the 1890s being like, this is the peak male form of athleticism. Little did they know that it was just the tip.
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just a tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip? Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Guys, the summer is coming up on us. It's going to get hot. It's going to get sticky. It's going to get muggy. You're not going to feel comfortable down there. So what do you got to do? Go visit www.myhappynuts.com. It is rocket science for where the sun don't shine. Get that comfort cream like I do. Slather it up nice and thick on your hands. Rub them all over your boys. Not too much, though. Don't be one of those guys. Rub it all over your boys. Make sure that they are covered. From your pits to your tips, you are going to be taken care of all the time. Let's say you're one of these guys, you like to put lotion on your hands, but then you don't wash your hands afterwards. No threat. Don't worry about putting your gross hands on other people after you've rubbed yourself and put lotion on them. Get the comfort powder. Sprinkle some comfort down there. Open up your pants. Open up those 4XL size pants. Open them up, sprinkle down in there. Now you're nice and fresh all day. But if you're going to do that, you got to make sure you're not going commando. Trust me, I learned the hard way. That was too much. www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout. Save on all their male grooming needs. Guys, it's everything your nuts need. It's not what they want. It's what they need. And I am here for you. www.myhappynuts.com. The commission saying, I see how you slid that in. Pause. I'm keeping it. Hey, I like it. Every now and then you got to slide in. You got to do what you got to do. All right. Sorry, I just got a work email. I'm trying to read that right now as I'm doing the show. Okay. I don't worry about that. We have Banana Ball coming to El Paso. Not the Savannah Bananas proper, but the firemen versus, or the firefighters versus the Texas Tailgaters. That's going to be happening at Southwest University Park next week, Friday and Saturday. So your boy's going to be out doing that. I'm talking with their representatives right now, making sure we got all our camera angles, all our replay stuff, everything ready to go. It's going to be a fantastic time. You can check those games out. What is it? ESPN Plus, I believe, is where they're at. It's going to be fun. I'm excited about it. I love Savannah Banana baseball. I'm looking forward to see what it looks like in person. I like watching it on TV. I'm still one of these people that can watch baseball on TV. I still love listening to baseball on the radio. I believe us in El Paso, we have to have hands down the best radio broadcast in all of minor league baseball. Tim Haggerty does such a great job. If you haven't, you need to buy his book. I don't have it in here. I've got it over by my bed. That's my nighttime reading. Most people read the Bible. I read Tim Haggerty's Tales from the Dugout. I did actually read like the whole book. I did have it by my nightstand for a whole year. I was like, I want to do more reading. I read a couple of books. Like, I love history books, so I was reading like history books and stuff like that. And then I was like, you know what? Sports history. Let's bring it all together, because I'm getting inspiration for the history book that I'm writing, the sports history book that I'm writing about UTEP football. Love me some UTEP football. That's how much I love it. I want to write about it. Let everybody know why I love it, and you should love it too. All right, that's enough Major League Baseball. Thank you, Commish. I appreciate that. I haven't gotten to talk enough about it. I haven't been able to gloat enough about it. The San Antonio Spurs beating the brakes off the Minnesota Timberwolves. That dog got hit by a car, baby. That was kind of messed up. I'm probably going to get canceled by PETA. I apologize if you're offended by that comment. But sometimes you're the car and sometimes you're the dog. And we know who wins in that accident. Although one time I hit a deer on my way to Austin, which was funny. So, like, if you're not familiar with Texas landscapes, I-10, which is what the main artery we have in El Paso, does not go through Austin. There's a split over by Pecos. I-10 junctioned into I-20. You go down I-20, you go to Dallas. You keep going down I-10, you go to San Antonio, Houston, etc. So you have to find a cutoff to go to Austin. And it's if you're going off of I-10 or I-20, you have to find a little cutoff because you don't want to wait to go down to I-35 in San Antonio and then drive all the way up when you can just go through like in hypotenuse, right? A squared plus B squared equals C squared. If you don't know geometry, it helps you out while you're driving, you nerds. Learn it. So you find the route you can go. And as I'm going down this route, there's like a band following us, right? We're in a Mini Cooper at the time. And it's like this little 2-lane road that you're going down, weaving through Texas hill country, doing all that. And a deer jumped out in front of my Mini Cooper. And I slam into this deer. And the deer runs away. Ran away. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, okay, I got it mid-prance, right? Like it was in the air. That's why I hit it. It flew a little bit, slid, ran away. The people in the band that was in the van behind me, they stopped and they're like, holy shit, man, are you okay? Is everything okay? Jericho was a little baby at the time. Didn't even wake him up. Little itty-bitty baby at the time. And I'm like, fuck, man, my car's going to look like shit. I can't believe this is deer. I got to worry about insurance now. I walk up to the front of my car, and all it did was break my license plate holder. I even asked them, I hit that deer, right? And they were like, yeah, we saw it. Like it was spinning on the road. It probably got like road rash or something. I hope it didn't die. But it got hit by my car. I didn't kill it. And it didn't damage my car. It was like the weird, like God was shining his light down upon thee at that moment that nothing happened to my car. And nothing happened to that deer. Like I said, it probably got hurt a little bit, probably died shortly thereafter. But I'm not the reason it died. So I take back my analogy. Sometimes you're the car and it doesn't work. So if you're the bug in the windshield, that's always going to be the better one. And yesterday, the Minnesota Timberwolves were the bug. The San Antonio Spurs, the windshield coming at you at 900,000 miles an hour. Tommy was right. It did get back up to 45 points at one point in the game. It was a 45-point lead for the San Antonio Spurs, 10 minutes left in the game. And then they decided, we're just going to empty our bench. We're just like, no more. I think Mason Plumlee was in the game. Kelly Olynyk was in the game. All these guys that you probably didn't know were San Antonio Spurs, if you're not me, were San Antonio Spurs playing in this game. Still draining threes, still doing their thing. It was a thing of beauty to watch. An absolute, utter domination by the San Antonio Spurs. New York extends their lead over the Philadelphia 76ers to 2-0 after the 102 or 108-102 win over the Philadelphia 76ers. Later on today, we get the Cavs and Detroit. Detroit is a 3.5-point favorite over the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's in Detroit. I'm trying to see. There we go. Where my bracket is. There's my bracket. Detroit leads the series 1-0 right now. Later on, we get the Thunder and the Lakers. I got to apologize to y'all. On Tuesday, I believe it was, I kept saying, hey, put your money that the Lakers will cover the 15.5-point spread. You know how hard it is to lose by 15 points? I should have known better. Every time I say something nice about the Lakers, this stuff happens to them. The Lakers lost by 18 points. I sat there thinking to myself, I am so glad I didn't put any money on that game because, man, it would not have been a good look for your boy. The Lakers are once again a 15.5-point underdog. And I want to say, put your money on the Lakers to cover that 15-point spread. But I also have zero faith in the Lakers covering that 15.5-point spread. They did not look good against Oklahoma City. They just absolutely didn't. And that's even funnier now that I'm thinking about it because I went to La Bang Bang yesterday. Yo, shout out to my friends over at La Bang Bang. Being a friend of Tip gets you guys perks. Head out to La Bang Bang. They got more than just beer. They've got some of the best Buffalo Ranch fries I've ever had in my life, and I'm a big fat guy, so you know I eat a ton of food. Go on out to La Bang Bang, mention you're a friend of Tip. Boom, you're saving money. Drink specials, discounts on food, just for being a friend of Tip. Don't say you're an acquaintance of Tip, even if you really are. You're a friend of Tip. You're a supporter of the Tip. You're a Tip head. I've got to get the shirts out there. Like the commish said, I got to come up with a design. You're a Tip head, you get taken care of. I want to say that was like a slogan of a company, but I can't remember what it was. You'll be taken care of. I'll think about that later. That's not a thing for me to be thinking about right now. But yesterday I was at La Bang Bang, drinking away, celebrating how happy I was that the El Paso Chihuahuas were able to get themselves another big win. And I turned around, like there was a guy, he was watching a basketball game. Like I had my back to the TV, and this old dude was like locked in on this game. And he was like, man, you see this? You see what's going on right here to the Lakers? I was like, oh, it's got to be the replay of the Lakers and Thunder game. And I was like, yeah, man, like it wasn't good. He's like, no. They're kicking ass right now. I was like, the hell are you watching? Like, it's got to be like the 80s or something, right? So I turn around and I look and I'm watching the TV, and it was the Rockets versus the Lakers. And I totally forgot that they were taking on OKC. So I was like, oh yeah, no, that's a previous game. He's like, no. That's like a real game right now. I was like, my dude, it's 3:00 in the afternoon on a Wednesday. Like, they're not playing basketball. They're not playing NBA playoff basketball right now. But he convinced me. Maybe I was 7 or 8 beers deep, but he convinced me on what was going on. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I know the outcome of this series, but I don't want to let him know that, because he was my guys. He was like intense on this game. It was like he had put money on this game. The way that he was, with every single foul call going on. And I didn't have the heart to tell him, this game has already been played. This game has already been, decided. The outcome has happened. The Lakers move on. I couldn't tell him that. I should have been a good person. But then I guess I was a good person. I let him have his fun. I let him have his enjoyment. Who am I to take away somebody's enjoyment? Sorry, I'm going off on a lot of tangents today, guys. Got to have somebody help reel me in. I got to have like a producer. One of these days I'll hire a producer. But then it takes away the authentic Tip. Would you rather have the real Tip or a fabricated Tip? That did not come out right. Man, I got to save myself from myself. Basketball, huh? The Lakers and Thunder, they got their game tonight at 7:30 here in El Paso. The Pistons and Cavs, they have their game at 5 o'clock here in El Paso. I think we got to go Cleveland on this one. I still got faith in the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Lakers, though, I got no problem. I got no problems at all saying that the Lakers are going to get that ass stomped once again. I had no faith in the Lakers beating the Thunder. I wanted the chaos. I will say, some of you are going to say, Tip, but last week you were saying, I know what I said. I wanted the chaos of it. I didn't think it could actually happen. It's more than likely not ever going to happen. The commissioner saying, yo, I produced the Clubhouse show, just saying, LOL. Hey, I got you. I got you, my dude. Maybe I do reach out to somebody. But then you also got to let me be Tip. Are you willing to let me be 100% Tip? Are you secure in yourself in knowing that you will never be able to handle the Tip fully? I can't believe I got through that without laughing. There were a couple of times there where I did, but I got through it without laughing. Tommy, I'm glad the kids aren't in the car. I hope that you're not at McDonald's or Whataburger or Walmart or any of the various places you decide to stop afterwards and don't have headphones conveniently. Listening on a Beats pill turned up as loud as possible. I don't know why I did this as though you were holding a boombox when a Beats pill is about yay big. Oh, got to give a shout out to the Mouth from the Bay. It's his birthday this Sunday. Congratulations to the Mouth from the Bay having a birthday. I hope you have a great birthday, but I hope your San Francisco 49ers fall into a pit of lava. Well, happy birthday. Jesus Christ, man. Basketball, huh? So we're going Detroit today, or not Detroit. We're going Cleveland today. I think Cleveland will be able to cover that spread. I am not going to think that the Lakers can cover that spread. If you are brave enough, knowing what you saw on Tuesday, if you are brave enough to put your money down on the LA Lakers, thinking that they're going to cover the spread, by all means do it. I'm like what, W used to say. There's an old saying in Texas. I know they say it in Tennessee too. Fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice. Ain't gonna fool me again. Oh, there we go. The commission, trust me, Mike, everyone is getting the full tip. I wouldn't circumcise that part of the show. No. We gotta swell that part of the show. We got to get some Blue Chew. It's been a while, like Stain said, since I've reached out to Blue Chew to get them to sponsor this show. I think we've got to give it the old college try one more again. Let's see if we can't get our friends at Blue Chew to tune into the show and sponsor the show. We're all getting older. Ain't no shame in my game. I was able to get through that. Tommy, once again, glad that the kids are not in the car. If you're even still there, Tommy, are you there? Tommy, are you there? All right, we're good. We're good. Solid. USA. Getting back on track. All right. I wanted to talk about this once again, keeping with the basketball theme here. And it was one of the things that I saw, the biggest questions of what if, right? Like what's going to happen during this offseason? Because you have two guys that could potentially wind up being free agents. And one of them is Nikola Jokic, that big basketball playing jar of mayonnaise, is a potential free agent. And then you have there you go. Yeah. The commish saying, bro, Blue Chew has competitors. If they're not interested, then let's try one of those other guys. Yeah, dude, but I don't know. Like I've I've always gone like the gas station. You see like the gas station dick pills. I'm sorry, there's not another word I know how to say it, but you have the gas station dick pills. And I always think to myself, where do you got to be in life to trust the gas station dick pill? Again, I don't know what brand it is, and I don't know if I told you what brand it was that you would know, right? And I'm not going to search it up because I'm at home, and the last thing I want is for my algorithm to get corrupted with gas station dick pills. So I've got to go out there and I got to do my research. I got to find out who Blue Chew's competitors are. But then imagine what my targeted IG ads are going to be. It's bad enough. Actually, it's not. It's such a blessing that my targeted ads are www.myhappynuts.com. Rocket science for where the sun don't shine. If I start looking up competitors to Blue Chew, it's gonna be bad. This guy says N-word. Who are you talking to? I'm talking to anybody who's out there listening. And thank you for supporting. Also, I'm not an N-word. Don't call me that. Although I did come across something on the algorithm the other day that said I was. Great thing on TikTok. The Commission Row, I think, is a brand that's not in the gas station. I also do feel bad for Jared because that's the first thing he got was us talking about gas station dick pills. I call that serendipity, right? Like maybe you're going through a problem right now. Don't use a gas station dick pill. Again, Kamish, your first job as the new producer of this show, should you accept this task, is you do that research for me, my guy. Because like I said, I got 2 young kids that get on the internet here at my house, and the last thing they need is those things popping up on their algorithm. So you do the research, I'll do the legwork and trying to get the sponsorships. But I am not going to be researching Blue Chews competitors. Wow. Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's crazy how we went from the Greek freak to just a freak off. A tippy party. Oh my God, could you imagine? I got to dress up in all white, sunglasses. Start talking like Diddy, we call it a tippy party. I'm down with it. But Milwaukee Bucks owner Jimmy Haslam said that he would like to have the Giannis Antetokounmpo future sorted out on what he wants to do, what Giannis wants to do before the Milwaukee Bucks make a decision going into next month's NBA draft. The commission, I feel like I'm already working on it, bro. I already had another name in line, but I'll look into more if that gets my foot in the door. Hey, I like it. And if you rhyme, it makes me happier too. But I thought, like, I don't know. I got to start paying attention to commercials, right? Because, like, I'll see commercials and ads and stuff like that. And if it's like a medication, I tend to just tune it out. Tune it out. Jared saying, are you sure there seems to be a little bit of coffee in your cream? I mean, I'm Puerto Rican. So I get, yeah, that's why, right? Like, I'm in the middle of it. Skin tone wise, in the middle of it. It's the best part about being Puerto Rican. White people hate you. You get the whitest name in the world, and they still want to deport your ass. It's weird. Sorry to the Under the Hood podcast channel. Hoodie said I could do this. Jared saying, good voice, though. Hey, I appreciate that. It's the only talent I have. Literally the only talent I have. I do have to come clean, though. This is not my real voice. This is. Ha! Oh, boy. I hope everyone's having a good day out there, guys. That hurts my throat so much to do that. I should probably not do that anymore. But thank you, Jared. Hope that you're having a good day, my friend. Hope that you like, subscribe, whatever channel it is you're watching on, whether it's on my YouTube, whether it's on the Under the Hood podcast YouTube, Tipton Sports Broadcasting, wherever it is that you are looking at. We're trying to grow this. Got 11 years now. Jesus Christ, I'm getting old. Of radio and podcasting experience under my belt. And I let you kind of take over the show. Whatever topics, let's keep them clean for the most part. We'll be all right. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. I'd love to see you on. Give me some of your sports takes, hot takes, where you're from, all that good stuff. Unfortunately, though, the show's coming to an end. We got about 6 minutes, 6 good minutes before we give it up. I shouldn't have said before we give it up. That did not sound right at all. What do we think is going to happen with Giannis? If you're the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis has made statements over the last couple of years that he no longer wants to be in Milwaukee. You were seeking out trade partners for him earlier this year, late last year, and for whatever reason, you never pulled the trigger on it. You have to find a way to move Giannis Antetokounmpo sooner rather than later, because now the value keeps dropping. Yes, there's going to be a team out there, a team that thinks they're a Giannis Antetokounmpo away from being competitive in the NBA Finals, that'll trade you a lot to get Giannis. The only teams I can see doing that would be like Miami. I wanted San Antonio to before this season. I like what San Antonio's doing. I don't think they need to bring in a Giannis Antetokounmpo. The young core the Spurs have is great. Maybe the Lakers might do something if LeBron retires. Maybe the Lakers get something to try to bring in Giannis, but then they don't have any capital that they can really trade away to try to bring in a player like that. Phoenix doesn't do it. Houston can't do it. Like the options are so limited, but you cannot let Giannis just walk away. If you're the Milwaukee Bucks, you can't just let him walk away. Maybe there's a draft day trade. You get a couple of first-round picks from somebody. We got to have the lottery happen before we figure out who's going to be the number one overall pick or who's going to be picking number one overall. So we got to let all that stuff go through. But I will say the Bucks would probably be in a better position trading away Giannis than trying to hold on to whatever they can to get from him right now. You had Giannis this season. You've had Giannis the last couple of seasons. You haven't won a playoff game since 2022. That's 4 years. 4 years of having one of the best players in basketball because you haven't been able to build around him. Get as much capital as you can for one of the best players in basketball. I can't see New York doing it. I can't see a couple of other teams doing it. The commissioner saying, have a good day, Mike. Would love to jump on one day if I can get a Friday off. You let me know what day you want to come on. I'll put the link out there. It's always the same link. Always the same link, my dude. You know you're always welcome. The TIP VIP Friday is for everybody, though. I just got to schedule the other days. And we can make it happen. You know I got no problems with it. If I'm the Milwaukee Bucks, you have to trade Giannis. That's the only way that you can salvage the future for this team. If you keep Giannis right now, you're hurting this team in the long run. Over the next 5 years or so, you're hurting this team. Trade him, deal with whatever backlash you got to deal with, and then go on your merry little way. Because once you start rebuilding the team the right way, the fans will understand. You have to be able to trust your own process. Maybe not as bad as Philadelphia did it, but you have to be able to trust your own process. The best thing for the future of the Milwaukee Bucks is trading Giannis Antetokounmpo. And maybe that's the best thing for Giannis as well. And you got to think about legacy stuff with Giannis right now. An MVP, an NBA champion. I think he's a multiple-time MVP now that I'm thinking about it. Multiple-time MVP, one of the best players we've seen to do it over the last decade. He's got to try to separate himself from the Jokic's and make himself the best of this generation. Let's see if he could try to do that. But in order to do that, he's got to win another championship. And it's the same thing with Jokic. In order to separate themselves from one another, in order to definitively say Jokic was better than Giannis or Giannis was better than Jokic, one of them has to win another championship. Or maybe they join together and win a championship together and we treat them like LeBron and Dwayne Wade. Maybe that's what happens. We got to check out salary cap issues with the Nuggets and the Bucks, although I don't think either team has enough money for it. Maybe we work out our fantasy trade options for Giannis Antetokounmpo. All right, Joel. I want to thank you so much for tuning into today's show. A lot of comments today. It was fun. It was nice and fun. A decent amount of comments. I want more comments. Tomorrow is a TIP VIP Friday. I'll put the link out there. You got time to join me. I always appreciate it. You're welcome on the show at any time on a TIP VIP Friday. Hopefully we got Augustine. Maybe we get Strilla. We'll see how it goes. Everybody, once again, thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow. Have a good day, everybody.